Hi everyone, my name is Francesca Soro and today I'm going to present our paper Regular Pattern and Anomaly Detection on Corporate Transaction Time Series. This work is the result of a joint effort between Politecnico di Torino and the Unicredit Bank Vienna. The final aim of this work is to develop decision aid tool which could serve to the banking employees and management to spot some very relevant customer behaviors by means of an analysis of time series. As we know, time series are extensively used in business applications and normally they serve, for instance, to evaluate financial risk, forecast future market behavior, detect fraudulent events, spot changes in the business relationships, or identify new market opportunities. For our application, we start from a raw dataset of more than 50 million transactions done by 500,000 customers. All the transactions are reported from the point of view of the customer, which is either a beneficiary or a source. We decide to filter out the customers which are performing less than 100 transactions per month. And we keep for our time series analysis only those customers overcoming this threshold. From a time series dataset, we build a lags dataset, which is the input for our machine learning algorithms, and contains a set of enriched features which are built starting from the time series at, of course, different time granularities. In particular, we want to target three particular categories of behaviors, which are the cyclic phenomena, the continuous trends, and the isolated anomalies. So in the first case, we want to spot automatically a customer that pays salaries or suppliers. In the second case, a customer that has a particularly good business or a particularly bad business, which should worry the management. And in the third case, we want to spot point-wise events requiring more investigation. In the first case, we target the cyclic payments task with a very simple heuristic. We know that the periodic payments are usually represented as those in the figures. So they are very tall spikes which are spread all over and repeated all over the time period. So we define an adaptive threshold and we ask the customer to overcome this threshold in the 85% of the analyzed months. In particular, in this case, considering that the analysis is carried out over 24 months, we ask this threshold to be overcome 20 out of 24 months in order to recognize the client as a salary or supplier payer. In the case of continuous trend, we again use an heuristic, but we combine this heuristic by fitting a linear regression model. The behaviors that we are automatically able to detect are, for instance, the ones depicted in the plot, and we see that in this case we have the three customers with the most worrying behavior, because it's really suddenly the number of corresponding counterparts of these customers are suddenly decreasing, and this may mean that, for instance, the client shifted his business to another bank or is doing particularly bad on the market. In the third case, we tackle the isolated anomalies, so the point-wise unusual behavior of the client. In this case, we don't use heuristics, but we build a framework that includes several types of machine learning algorithms, and we validate them by means of a set of artificial anomalies. The algorithms that we tested are ARIMA model, then 5 different supervised algorithms and 4 different unsupervised algorithms. And on the paper you can find more details on how the thresholds are defined in order to better tackle the anomalous points. So to conclude, in this paper we address the issue to develop a sort of decision aid tool, a proof of concept of a decision aid tool which could help the bank employees and the banking management to easily extract value from the deluge of information they deal with. In fact, by looking at a single payment itself, it will be impossible for them to enhance their corporate customer relationships. And we proved that in order to tackle these specific tasks, different operations and different techniques must be used. But in general, the results are very consistent. Of course, you can find more details of every technique on the paper. And with this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you, and I'll be happy to answer your questions.